Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. And today's video we're here as always to break down, react and discuss the latest Rangers game. A Rangers game that saw us go to Easter frickin' Road and come away with all 3 points and a cheeky wee clean sheet to boot. People, this Giovanni van Bronckhorst Rangers is something I'm going to very enjoy. But before we go any further on with today's video, as there was a lot of questions the last time we played Hibs, if you go back to that video, there is one question that continued to pop up asking me if I looked happy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to everyone clicking, I've got one thing to ask you. Do you look happy? Because I kid someday that's no, people, and that is what we're going to be breaking down and discussing, and it just shows you what happens. You didn't get too cocky when someone's doing, people, because they will always bounce back and you'll be put back in your spot. And there's a wee bit of justice in the storylines, everything like that that was done in this game of football. And as always, we're here to break down everything. And a game of football that, let's be honest, wasn't exactly a blockbuster performance. If you're looking at it, was it maybe the poorest performance we've seen? Yes, probably, but again, do I freaking care? Absolutely not, people, because you go back and you look at the 3 games that Giovanni van Bronckhorst has been in charge of Rangers. Again, he came into this football club when we were down, not only as players, but fans, everything. You know what happened the last time we played Hibs when we went in there with the circumstances that we found ourselves in, no manager, blah, 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 blah. And you knew how down we were feeling, and everyone crawled out the woodwork. Guys I've not seen that wrapped themselves in Ivory Coast blankets, I've not seen them for about a year and a half, people, but they were back in the videos. They were gaying it loudy, people. Well, I'm pretty damn sure I want to see them tonight, and that in itself is a gift. So thank you, Giovanni van Bronckhorst. But again, I want to talk about what we're actually seeing now in Rangers, because since Gio's come into the job, again, we've played those 3 matches. We had to get a win in Europe by a 2-goal margin to qualify for the knockout stages of the Europa League, against a team that had beat us previously not too long ago. Job done. Tick with that one. We then had to follow that up. Emotional night, first game in charge, everything that goes into it, the energy, the drive. We had to just get that on a short week and rally enough to go to the complete opposite side of the spectrum, to go to the Tony Macaroni, where it's never easy to win there, people. Just ask around. It's one of the most difficult places to go and one of the most difficult surfaces to actually play football. Get on, but to me, that performance at the Tony Macaroni was one of the best performances we've put in there. Maybe, I don't even know actually, maybe right off the top of my head, in the top 2 or 3 in terms of performances. And now you lead into this game after the high of those 2 wins, going to our most difficult game, which is of course gone to Easter Road, where Hibs are a team that is perfectly suited to play against Rangers, who are on their high horse, who's loving life, smiling, tweeting, posting this, posting that. Well, none of them will be posting nothing, as normality has been well and truly restored, people. And Kemar Roofe came off the bench, and not only did he set the roof on fire, can you imagine the damage that man's done, and how many spoons that are currently on fire thanks to that man's cool, calm, collected and beautiful penalty kick. It's scary to actually think about, people, but again, there is so much to actually break down and discuss, despite it being on paper the poorest performance that we've seen so far. But again, this is one of these games of football, and you look at the calendar, we'll forget about this performance, but we'll remember the 3 points. So let's go ahead and talk about this game of football then, shall we? Because going into the game, we did make one change from the starting 11, which I'll be honest with you, I wasn't the biggest fan of. Stephen Davis came in for Scotty Arfield, so you know exactly what that means. It's a lot slower in the build-up and everything like that, and you could see how frustrating that was, because I thought Glenn Kamara done that centre defensive mid role, dropping into the middle, getting the ball and then playing it forward, and when he doesn't have someone right on his shoulder, it's no gone like this. It's no gone like that, people. I feel like when there's only one centre defensive mid in, we kind of force ourselves to play it forward. But him and Stephen Davis were sitting there doing the kind of same job, and for me, despite Davis actually having a very good game in what he did, it's just not what we came to expect under Giovanni van Bronckhorst, and we couldn't get the penetration or the quick play that we've came to expect already. And that kind of summarises the opening 25 minutes, 30 minutes in fact of the game, because it wasn't what we've came to really expect. There wasn't that extra runner for the midfield. It was a little bit slower. You could see we were just trying to hold the possession, move it from side to side and wait for our gaps rather than actually create them. But there were still a couple of wee moments in the first half. The first one being in the 34th minute where our boy Connor Goldson had his usual Connor Goldson header, meets it perfectly and headers it straight down the barrel, man, right to the goalkeeper. If the goalkeeper's standing there, in fact if a cone, it's straight down the middle. It's very, very frustrating, but Connor Goldson has been very consistent at that. If he could just start putting a wee bit on it to the side, the boy would have 13 goals this season, because I'm thinking of every game this season he has at least one hits right at the goalie. But where I was hoping at least that moment would spark us into life and would create more opportunities, it never really happened. We have to go another 10 minutes before the next opportunity in the game of football. And listen, I'm skipping over a lot of things and little moments and little maybes, especially on the back of Joe Rebo, who I'll probably not say his name enough in today's video, but for me, he seems to be the one that's really trying to grab the mantle and really show he wants to be the centrepiece of this Giovanni team, in my frickin' opinion, because he's playing like Gio's his favourite player and he's trying to impress him. I mean, we've all been there, people. Whenever we've had that certain someone watching us at a game of football, whether it was at school, college, whatever, or even just at Sunday League, whenever they glance your direction and you clock them glancing at you, you try and lift it a little bit. And that's what seems to be Joe Rebo's MO since Gio's walked in to this football club, to really show what he's all about. And again, he gallops down the right hand side, he lifts his head up. You can he's going to cut in, he's very Robin-esque. You know he's going to cut into that left foot, but he's just so talented. It's that Feetabix we talk about in every video. Nobody can stop it. He flips it over to the lefty, whips it in, and meets Alfredo Morelos 6 yards out. He's split the defenders. It's a perfect run, perfectly timed for big Alfredo Morelos, but unfortunately he misses it, people, and this is the type of chances that would really elevate Alfredo Morelos. When he doesn't need 2 or 3 every single game, when he can start putting them away more regularly, people will absolutely come in for the big bucks. But again, unfortunately for the old Buffalo, it's not a European night, so that means he isn't quite at it in terms of his finishing, as it goes a little bit left, and then that takes us to half time with a frustrating, dull first half, I'd say. I think it was dull from Bay fans' perspective, but again, we had the biggest chance. We created the opportunity to be what should have led us going into half time 1-0 up, but again, we aren't clinical enough. So we go into the second half, and the one thing that I was thinking about was either Stephen Davis or Glenn Kamara off and Arfield on. That's the substitute I wanted. And again, I'd have took Davis off because I think Kamara could really evolve into a player. And again, he's quicker and everything like that. Too many times Stephen Davis and Kamara go forward and every single one of them just fake shot. Who the fake shot? Like, honestly, are they fake shotting themselves? Are they tricking themselves that they're going to fake shot? Because the goalie doesn't move, the defenders didn't move, no one moves, we didn't move, we know there's no shooting. Honestly, see if they actually fake shotted by actually shooting, they'd hit the back of the net because the goalie isn't expecting it. So we know we needed to make a change at the aim time. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. But before we get there, I want to give a wee bit of credit defensively to our boy Barisic, who again, for me, was our best defender on the day. He has a massive block in the 48th minute of this game where Deutsch gets down the left-hand side, whips it in to the back post. It's a good header by Calvin Bassey, but it drops to Boyle for whatever reason. Davis and Kamara are both being dragged over to the left-hand side of the box because that's where the cross came in from. Boyle is wide open, but thankfully Barisic is switched on enough. I know what I'm saying here, but he's switched on enough. He gets back and he puts in a massive block, because that could have been 1-0 Hibs if the BB wasn't where he was supposed to be. I'm happy with that one. Now, speaking of being in the right place at the right time, let's jump 6 minutes or whatever forward to the moment that Connor Goldson done something that made me go, how has he done that? And it's in a good way. People went, I know, but it's in a good way. This time, Hibs come down the right-hand side. It's from a throw-in. I don't know why we cannot defend throw-ins. I mean, no, just runs away for Stephen Davis. It's just a simple ball over to him. Bassey tries to get there. He can't. He whips it dangerously across, 3 yards out or anything like that. And Connor Goldson is there. He needs to get there, because if it doesn't hit off him, it could drop to a Hibs player behind him. But somehow he flicks it up and over with his feet to keep it and knock it above the Hibs player that's right in his back. Honestly, it's unbelievable defending. Now, did he mean it? I'm going to lean in, I'm going to be a half full kind of guy and say he absolutely did, just because of the way he flicked his foot up rather than flicking it to the side. That moment right there, no matter how wayward his passing or that was in this game, should be the moment that we remember really from Goldson, because that there is sensational defending. And again, I'm going to believe that he meant it. They're the changes that happen, and again, they were badly needed, and thankfully Giovanni saw that. Davis came off. I love the boy with all my heart. You all know it, but again, this free-flowing attacking football, everyone going forward, making runs into the box, popping shots, doesn't really fit his style. Again, he will play his role, and he kept us in the game, kept us ticking along, etc. for 60 minutes, but when we need that goal, Scotty Arfield's runs, the Bakunas, the Scotty Wrights will probably be who comes in to these games to fill that. And I love Scotty Arfield, and he came on the park and his first instinct was to actually bomb forward, but he didn't come on the park alone. Nah. Gio was brave enough to take Alfredo Morelos off at the same time in the 66th minute of this game, and he brought on Kemar Roofe, not Fashion Sakala. And I'll be honest, I was annoyed. No, of course, that Kemar Roofes came on because you all know where I hold him in terms of the strikers. I think he is a better finisher than Alfredo Morelos. I think he's a better, more clinical, I should say, than Alfredo Morelos. No problem with him coming on, but I thought Sakala scoring goals, bringing happiness and joy to us. Unleash the Sakala. We're getting 25-30 yards of space. Let's exploit it. But it shows you why I'm sitting here making a video at 12 o'clock at midnight, and Giovanni's where he's at with the career that he's had, people, because it worked absolute perfection on. But before we speak about that perfection of a penalty kick, let's talk about how it was actually won. And this is what I love, by the way, and this is what I want you to remember as well from today's video. This is what happens when you keep Ryan Kent on the frickin' park. You didn't sub him off in the 65th, 70th minute when you are chasing a game of football. No, you keep a player of Ryan Kent on, even if he isn't playing well, people, because he can have this moment, he can have this ability, and he drives at people and he makes people ask or answer his own questions. Because 5 minutes before he won the penalty kick, he skinned two of them, and then he tried to skin porteous, but porteous this time, fantastic slide challenge, he gets it right this time. But what I've always said about porteous, he has a mistake in him, and if you keep asking him a question, he'll give you the answer you want. And in the 84th minute, brilliant for Ryan Kent, he just takes him on, he glides into him, he brings the ball close to him, and then he just flicks it inward, and it's quite clearly a penalty kick. Now, I know there's going to be moon howlers and people screaming online and blah blah blah, and I know for a fact Ryan Porteous, honestly, he terrified me the night, because if you go back and you look at that penalty kick and you see his reaction, the holding of the head, the slamming of the grunt, the screaming, the sad eyes, the sad voice to the crowd and the fourth official, all that right there is absolutely pathological, because he's just lying there. He's screaming he's no touched, Kent, but every single replay shows that he does. The man should be a lawyer. Honestly, he's frightening with that ability. Honestly, O.J. Simpson's trial wouldn't even have lasted that long if Ryan Porteous was in charge. Phenomenal liar. So if you're only here for one reason and one reason only, to sit here and ask me if this is a penalty kick, well, I've only got one thing I can say. Didn't ask me silly questions. What's funny now is, and I mean, it's funny in a way to say it, see when I see Kemar Roofe picking the football, I don't know if it's because I rate him so highly and I think he's so clinical, etc., but there was not one part of me that thought he was going to miss. You know what I mean? See when Tavernier used to step up, you know, he used to just be like, throw a dart in the dark, honestly, just flip a coin, is it gone in? Who knows, people? But Kemar Roofe, I'm going, aye, he's no missing from that. And that's what happens when you put a clinical striker, a free shot and goal with nobody anywhere near him. And he just walks up so calmly, lets the big Frankenstein goalkeeper dive out the way, and he just tucks it on the opposite side, just waits for the goal. It's pure class, it's pure technique, and Kemar Roofe separates the side, and he's big, and he steps up once again when we need him the most. But aye, that was it, people. There wasn't a last gasp for Hibs. They didn't rally and create another opportunity, and the guy that I want to give a lot of credit for that as well, because there was three incidences late on in the game, and every single time a ball came into the box, it wasn't Calvin Bassey, who's everyone's favourite right now. It's no Connor Golton, who's everyone's anti-favourite right now. It's not Tavernier who's getting to it. No, it is Barisic, big in defensive set pieces, getting his heat take, throws his volley at one, and then in the 95th minute, who's at the right place, who's tracked the run perfectly to the back post for a little flick header to knock out and win us the game of football? It's Barisic. So before I go any further, because I've been very, very critical of him defensively over the years, for me, he's been our best defender in the last 3 games since Gio's in. And I think that's a tactical switch as well, because you'll notice this from watching Barisic and Tavernier isn't our wide players anymore. No. We've actually got natural width in our team, new people. So Barisic and Tavernier's doing a little bit more defending than attacking. And I'm going to say it, I think it suits them, because I thought the skipper had a better game defensively as well. Still has the wee moments on the ball and everything, like just like Connor Goldson. But aye, impressed with what we're doing already and the tweaks that we're starting to see when the man's only been here a week. So with that being said, that's us done and dusted talking about the game. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about individual performances, because it wasn't about that. It was just about getting the job done. That's what you need to do when you go to Easter Road, and for me, the players done that collectively. So I'm going to sleep very, very happy tonight. Again, I know someone that won't, and that brings me joy, given it how Lowry they were giving it not too long ago. But now that you've heard my opinions, I want to know what your thoughts and opinions are down there in the comment section below. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you mad? Let me know down in the comment section below. Whilst you go ahead and do that, I will read from the people, because I asked them the exact same question as I asked you. What's your reaction to that 1-0 win over Hibs? Again, if you want to get involved in this series or anything like that, it's at SiegeandOver92. If I'm not coming up on your Twitter, clear your cache on your phone. It's a full thing, people with Twitter support. There's nothing I can do, unfortunately, but aye, that's what needs to happen if I'm not coming up on your Twitter. But aye, let's see what the people's had to say. Snake Harper is the first one in, and he writes in, do we look happy? Don't ask us silly questions. Again, shout out to our boy porteous, because not only did he taketh the actual patter and turn that into such a negative thing with so much abuse getting fired all of our way, but the man went ahead and gave us just a week or 2 later, because nobody can give us that patter anymore, because every single time someone tries to hit you with that patter, just reply back with that. Even Rocky's having a look. Rocky's having fun now. You know why? Because he's pissing himself at porteous. Back to Twitter though. Aaron Stelly writes in, not much in the game, but delighted with the 3 points. Richard Henry writes in, hard watch, but got the one, which is important. And do I look happy? I feel like there's going to be a wee bit of a running theme. Alex writes in, we didn't play well, but got the job done. The Davis Kemar combo wasn't working, and Morelos was way off it again. Surprised Sakala wasn't given a chance. Well, maybe you'll now see Sakala starting the next game for Morelos, sorry, who for me was really poor in this game. Smiley face writes in, mark of champions, play below par and win. Need to work on sharper passes, too many falling short, have been all season. Roofing for a few for Alfie till he gets these fire back, but currently do I look happy? I was, you know, sir, I was reading all that there waiting for the happy line, but the last one we'll actually read out, and I wonder what it's actually going to say. Well, let's test the theory. Right now, we're going to scroll all the way down here, we're going to scroll all the way down here, and we're going to stop it right here. And it comes from Husky Man, and Husky Man writes in, obviously, do we look happy, CJ? Do we look happy? Well, there it is, people. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. But until next time, I have been SiegeandOver92. Thank you so much for watching. And listen, I know there's not been as many videos uploaded recently in terms of preview videos and everything like that. As you may or may not know, obviously, my gran passed away last month. It's been a wee bit of a hard time recently, not even only the last couple of weeks, but it's been a hard 6 months, you all know that, on the channel. So I'm trying to keep the videos coming. Honestly, the reactions really help me, because they give me the adrenaline, because you know what it's like when you love the football team, and you love them as much as I do. It gives you the adrenaline, you kick every ball, and so when the game goes, I feel good and I'm feeling hype and I want to talk about things and everything like that. But the next again, more than that, I've not really been feeling myself, not been able to focus properly and try and put in the effort that I normally do for the videos, because believe it or not, I do actually put a lot of effort in to the preview videos and stuff like that. So I do apologise if it's not. There's the funeral on Friday, so if there's no videos over the weekend, that's probably why. But I will try and make a video on Saturday night, and then maybe coming into the next week or anything like that, we can then go back to uploading regularly on the old channel and everything. So I greatly appreciate everyone for sticking with me and giving me your patience. I know it's not been that great over the last couple of weeks, but I will try. But until next time, take care of yourselves, everyone. All the best, and bye-bye.